Alright guys, so I don't know if you heard, but there's this glitch in Animal Crossing. Now, this glitch is technically patched in the latest update. 1.20 is the last version you can actually do it on. So the 1.21 version, which is the newest update, it is not able to be done on. So if you guys haven't updated, or if you're not sure, you can go check your game in the settings. And if you go into your settings, you can turn off auto update really quickly before it actually automatically updates if you still have not updated. If you can't, you guys are not going to be able to do this glitch. But if you guys are not sure which version you're on and you don't feel like checking and you just want to try anyway, or you guys still have the old version, then you can go ahead and try this glitch. Now, what you're going to need for this glitch, if you've not heard, you're going to need to go into your house and you're going to need to clear off one of your floors. I suggest the top or bottom floor because that's where it's easiest in my opinion. You're also probably going to want some sort of tiled flooring so that you can actually see which tiles you're dropping the items on. It just makes things a lot easier. So what you're going to need for furniture items is your 2x2 table, and you're going to need 4 1x1 items to put on that 2x2 table. Now, one of those 1x1 items you are most likely going to lose, so don't put items that you don't want to lose on that table. Now, it's typically the items in the back or the top part of the table, basically. So the top left or the top right tile of the table, you might lose those items. So if you put the items in the front, you shouldn't lose those, but if you don't want to risk it, then put things that you don't care about or the items you can buy infinitely inside your Nook shop. Next, you're going to want to have your 2x1, you're also going to want to get a 2x1 table and a 2x1 item. Now, your 2x1 table, you're going to put the 2x1 item on the 2x1 table. So an example would be like a TV, and then you put it on top of the 2x1 table. So you're also going to need your 1x1 item that you're going to clone or duplicate, whichever you want to say. So basically, the most profitable item would be the Royal Crown or the Crown. The Royal Crown sells for 300,000 each, but to buy, it's 1.2 million bells. So if you have the crown already or the Royal Crown, then I suggest use it like this. So you're going to place it down away from the other tables, and you're going to put it down as a furniture item. You're not going to hang it on the wall, you're just going to put it down so it takes the spot of a 1x1 item, basically. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to pick up your table and your TV at the same time. Now, you're going to have to use the L button on your Switch, I believe. I believe it's the L button. Now, you're going to use that to select both at the same time. You cannot use the R button, even though it does it, it just does not work with the glitch. Basically, you're going to drop it on the 2x2 table. So the 1x2 table is going to be dropped on the 2x2 table with the items on it in a specific way. You'll be able to see on screen, but basically it's going to be each tile, if you have a tiled flooring like I recommended, is broken up into 4 different smaller tiles, and you're going to want to drop it so it's in the middle of the table in respect to left and right. But so it's only one of those quarter tiles, or one of those half tiles, I guess you could say, because it's a half a tile down that you want to drop it, but you don't want to drop it a full tile down, I believe. You'll be able to see in the video. But anyway, you're going to drop it, and then it should rotate. Once it rotates, you know you did it right, and you're going to move it all the way to the side of the room. Then you're going to exit the designer window. So sorry, if you didn't get this, you have to be in the designer window to move the table. If you didn't know, the designer window, you hit the down button on the left pad of your Switch, and then you're going to leave the room and come back. If you noticed, when you walk back in the room, there should be a cloned item of the 2x1 item you have. So you can use this method to clone your 2x1 item, but for the 1x1 items in the back, or the top part of the table, whichever you say, one of them should have sunken under the table. Now, if neither of these things happened, that means you either did it wrong or it may not work with your items. So you may want to shift your items around or something, but if not, you could just do it again, what I said basically, where you'd pick up the table and drop it in that specific way. You'll see it on screen, but you need to drop it in that way to the way it rotates, and you leave the room and come back. So if it doesn't work, do that. But once you do get it to work, you're going to want to pick up that 2x2 table and move it to the corner, either the top left or the top right. You're going to, I'm not 100% sure which corner to move it to, but I think it works the way whichever item sunk. So if it's the item that sunk in the top left corner, move it to your left your top left corner of the room if your table wasn't already there, and then you go to the top right corner of the room if it's the top right item of the table that's sunk. All I know is I usually have the top left item sink, so I move it to the top left corner of the room. This is just an extra measure to be safe, basically. Basically, once you do that, is you're going to be able to pick up your royal crown or your crown or whatever 1x1 item you actually want to duplicate that you left to the side in the room. You're going to pick it up and you're going to move it on the spot that the other item sunk on the table after you move the table into the corner. And then you're going to pick up the table with the L button again, and you're going to move it over exactly one tile from the floor. So you know how it was broken into, each tile is broken into 4 tiles, so you're not going to go like over a half a tile, you're going to go over a full tile, so that you can pick up the crown. Basically, you're going to find you're going to find an invisible hitbox where the item sunk under earlier. So exactly in that corner in the top left, there should be a hitbox. Basically, you're going to pick it up with the A, and then you're going to move it back on top of the table. That is basically cloning the item, and you're going to repeat this process all the way throughout the room. We're going to pick up the table, find the hidden hitbox right next to the table where it just was, and put it back on top of the table. And then you're going to go down a full tile once you hit the edge, and then repeat. As you keep doing this down the room, you will have cloned it for pretty much every single tile in the room with actual 1x1 tiles. So once you get to the end, or get to the part where there's the other table, you can pick up the other table, the 2x1 table, and move it so that you can maximize the amount of tiles that you actually clone it on. And then once you've done it for every single tile possible in the room, then you're going to want to pick up every single item from the room. Next, you're going to be able to put down other tables in the room so that you can actually claim the crowns or whatever other item you duplicate. So basically, you can go into the inventory that you have once you're in the designer window, you can click the right button, not the right button, sorry, on the left control pad or whatever they call it, hit the right arrow. So instead of the down, which is what your designer is, you hit the right one, and that opens up all of your items that you have in storage. And you can take out as many 2x2 tables or any other size tables, and then once you fill the room, you don't have to fill the room, but if you fill the room and then you leave the room after you close the designer window and come back, all of the places where you clone those items, all those items will be on the tables. If you don't have enough tables, you can pick up the tables and all the items on it and then move them to the other spots where you didn't claim the invisible items. But it's just easier to have a bunch of tables, so you only have to do it in one trip. And basically do this as many times as you want. As long as you pick up all the items, you're not going to be able to as long as you pick up all the items, it's not like there's going to be interference with any other invisible items, as long as you put down the tables and claim the items. So if you sell an entire round, so basically you can get about 44 crowns per round. If you sell, because your whole bag can hold 40, if you sell the entire bag of 40, you can get 12 million bells if you sell royal crowns. So that's a very good method if you guys have a royal crown. Now, if you guys do not have a royal crown and you have the crown, you're able to make 10 million bells per round. So, like I said, you get 44 if you do it properly. You might make a mistake. Just try to pick up the item or move your table back to how it was and try to fix it. If you mess up at any point and your items cannot go back on the table, you can always pick up everything that you've got left and put down tables and get whatever invisible items and just restart. But anyway, if you're able to do one round, and I've timed it out for about how long it would actually take to do an entire round, and I found that it would be, if you were going at a decent speed with some mistakes, it would probably take you about 7 to 8 minutes. Now remember, this is only on the update. This is not after the update. This is before the update, so you have to be on version 1.20, I believe, or 1.2.0, whatever they call it. But it's not on the newest updates. You want to make sure that your game is on that specific version. You cannot revert back to an old version. I know on the 3DS, I think you could delete the update info, but you cannot do it. And you cannot trade with another person if you update and they don't have the same version, or you don't update and you're trying to trade with someone with a newer version. So basically, I recommend farming as many bells as you can using the crowns and stuff, And if you don't have one and you do want to make bells before updating, then you could just keep changing your date until you get a day where you can actually get this crown or royal crown in your Able Sisters. But yeah, that's about it, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully we're going to be uploading more videos in the near future. That's about it. Peace.